Hi, I'm Isis with Sistah Scifi, and this is Sistah Scifi Wind Down Wednesday, where we work hard to make Wednesday your new favorite day of the week. First off, happy Black Speculative Fiction Month. It is October 1st. For those who don't know, not is it only spooky season, but it is Black Speculative Fiction Month. So I'm excited to kick it off with you. Today we will have writers Whitney and Aline discussing As the World Turns, a Black Canadian speculative fiction stories. The art was sent to me in the mail, and I was like, I love this. I love this so much. So there was that. I was here because I absolutely loved it. I love the cover. And then also, I was in a book club with Whitney French. So if you're active in a book club, if you organize a book club, if you're a regular participant in book club, know that book club it builds real community. So those are the two reasons why we're here today. So I see Whitney. Angel, is that you? Oh, I must be tripping. And hey, everybody else. So Whitney, I sent you a join request. Let me know if that works. Okay, I'll just accept your request. And this is going to work so beautifully. It'll be like magic. Oh, hey, Terese, how are you? Hopefully you can stay for the whole discussion. I I don't know. I think I focused on people who I had email addresses because I decided last week to do this week, and yeah. But if you decide that, I think we can have up to 4 people on the live. So if you want to join us on the live, send us a join request. I think that would be amazing. Yay! Aline-Mwezi, I see you too. Okay. Whitney, make sure that you are connecting on your mobile phone and on Wi-Fi and not mobile data. And I will continue to accept. I see join requests from Whitney. I see join requests from Whitney Mwezi. Please correct me. Oh, that one worked beautifully. Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you
I'm
doing?
good. It's been yay, 2 for 1.
I don't see my face, but I see your face. So,
We see your face, so don't worry about it.
okay, cool.
Um,
Hello,
one,
can you
thank
hear
you.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is there
Sweet.
I
is
have a
there a
baby in
newborn?
my arms.
I was like, is there a newborn? Yay, new babies.
There's a baby in my arms. Okay. I don't know how to. Oh no. What happened? There we go.
We can still see and hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Hey, Faith. Um, One, thank you so much for saying yes. I think I got the book a couple weeks ago and I started reading it and I was like, oh, I know people in this collection and I wonder if they would do a live and help me celebrate Black Speculative Fiction Month. So thank you so much for saying yes. Um, Before we jump in, how are you feeling? How are you feeling in your body, both of you?
I'm feeling good, like a little bit nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Oh my God. No, 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 no. This is 100% vibes.
Awesome. And I see Therese is watching.
Terese is watching. Yeah. Hey, Whitney, how are you? Besides, like, baby brain and multitasking and
Good Lord. There's a bottle. There's cats that want to be fed in the background. Um, I forgot my wine. Things happen.
that's okay. That's okay. It is called Sistah Sci-Fi Wind Down Wednesday, but ironically enough, I I haven't had a fancy beverage in a long time, and it's never been wine. So I've never taken it very literally.
I've got my water bottle.
Same. I have my water
I
bottle.
got green tea. I got green tea and
All
some baby
fancy.
formula on my chest, and I'm bouncing. That's really forgiveness for people who have motion sickness. Is gonna be like this the whole time.
You are doing a lot, and I'm here for it, and I love it so so much. So like Whitney, you're busy. Um, You can definitely ask questions in the chat. I also have the live up on my laptop, so it'll be easier for me to see. So if you see me looking off, um, that's what's happening. I'm not looking into outer space. How are y'all celebrating Black Speculative Fiction Month? Whitney is like, I'm creating the future. That's what I'm doing. But how are y'all celebrating Black Speculative Fiction Month?
Hmm. I don't have anything planned, so I'm open to suggestions.
You know the story. I know. I was like, I wonder what they're gonna say. Historically, I've celebrated it through creating like online content, like digitally. So
Yeah.
it's not like I've been to an event or something like that. So yeah, you being on this live, I count as part of your celebration. So you're already celebrating.
I
What
love
about
that. I
you?
love that. This is the celebration. I also, I don't know if it's like a celebration or something, but I would really like to. Hey, hey. You don't want me to talk, huh? All right.
Ooh,
You don't want me to talk. Um, I wanna something that I'm interested in is I was at a cafe, just getting a coffee before one of my classes because I teach speculative fiction at UBC, and the dude that was serving me coffee was like, "Oh, I used to read speculative work all the time, but I don't anymore." And I promised him that I would send him like a syllabus, like of work so that he could actually read on his downtime. I haven't done that yet, but I think I'm going to do that. Shout out to
yeah.
Andrew at the cafe, uh, Great Dane Cafe. But then I also just want to share it online. So that might be something. I'm saying it here in the universe as if I have time and to
And
do
this,
another
you know
project.
what? It takes a community. So, like, we are going to create community around you to support this work. And you're at, I'm dyslexic, so I'm going to get the letters wrong. UBC, is that right?
UBC, you got it.
And
University
you're
of
over
British
there with
Columbia.
Nala Hopkinson, right? Nala Hopkinson is over there,
Yeah, it's
right?
pretty awesome.
Um, okay, so there are lots of questions, but I have lots of questions. But one question that came up in the chat that folks are really excited about: any Black queer spec fic recs y'all got? I could be here all day, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. So, what y'all got?
Um, hmm.
I'll start if you're still thinking.
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
This might be like an obvious one, or maybe not obvious one, but like River Solomon model
Yeah,
home just finished. Like
yeah,
so good, mind blowing.
so good.
Um, that's like just off top of mind. But let me think about that a little harder.
There's River Solomon. There's Nikki Drayton, Escaping Exodus, and the second one, which is queer and well, like polyamorous. There's Nala Hopkinson, um, Jamaican Ginger and Other Concoctions, which is a collection of short
Oh my
stories.
goodness,
Another
can we talk
collection of
about
short
that
stories.
short story collection? It's so good.
So good. Um, there is This Ravenous Fate. It's not sci-fi, it's fantasy, so I take that back. There is, I know I have more than this. Um, Somebody's gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, why didn't there's Sunny Davies? There's a secondary character that is in a queer relationship. It actually becomes polyamorous. So yeah, um, I got lots. No, that's not sci-fi. That's horror. I think that's what keeps tripping me up. Okay, so I'll stop there. Faith, Black Speculative Fiction Month is a thing. It was started by Milton Davis, and I should have done more research. His partner in crime, and I can't remember. I want to say 10 years ago, but I'm not really good with time. Time is a weird thing. Oh, question for y'all, and I'll actually let y'all answer this question. Where does magical realism fall in science fiction and fantasy?
Um, it's there. It's included in the whole spectrum of the fantastic, I think. So, um, yeah. Whenever I see calls for submissions, magic realism is definitely there and included in it. So, that would be my way of answering that question.
I love it.
Yeah,
What about
I really dig magic realism. I'm definitely not a magic realism expert, but it has like a rich and long history in many cultures, but particularly like in a lot of like Latin American cultures as well, in the global South. Um, I feel like magic realism um, is such an interesting space because depending who's reading it. And when I say cultures, like when we say black, hopefully we get to talk about like the multiplicities of blackness. Um, because one person's magic realism is straight up their realism, or one person's
Yeah,
fantasy
yep,
is straight up their reality.
yep.
And so the thing that I really dig about magic realism is that it totes that line.
Yes, and I think Therese shared something. Oh, Therese, thank you, Therese, the editor, being the editor. Googled Black Speculative Fiction Month. Um, oh yes, yeah, I know, yeah. So if you can also search who helped found it was Davis, that would be great. And yes, agree with everything that was said about magical realism. Okay. I'm doing a lot right now. Okay. Next question is, since we are celebrating oh, thank you so much for joining. She's like, I got work
Thank,
to do.
bye,
But yeah, if you can
Tess.
come back, that would be amazing. The whole conversation will be posted on YouTube. And yeah, on social medias and all that good stuff. Um, Okay, great. So as we celebrate Black speculative fiction, what are y'all reading, watching, or listening to right now?
Hmm. I'm not. Too, I I feel like I should really get onto reading or watching something that is black and speculative. Um, I have been putting off watching. What is it called again? Super. No, it's a Netflix show.
Supercell.
Yes, Super Cell. So I will get on that.
Yeah,
Um,
honey.
and what am I reading? Um, I should also read up on more Fire Literary Magazine issues because I am definitely behind. And also they have an open submission period, which is so exciting.
Yay! I submitted and it was the loveliest rejection. It was my first rejection, but it was the loveliest rejection I ever received. I was like, I need to submit more just to get more submissions, more rejection letters like this. I was like, what's wrong with getting a rejection letter? This is great. Um, so yeah, that was amazing. So yes, I'm glad that you repped Fire Magazine, and I will drop that in the chat in a little bit. Whitney, what about you?
Um, I For folks who are just joining, I'm rocking a baby to sleep, so I don't have a whole lot of spare time. But I teach, and I do teach speculative fiction. And what I just taught with my graduate students was A Taste of Honey by Kai Ashanti Johnson, and it was so fun. It was so fun to talk about in class. Um, what a beautiful text. And there's also, what's this? Is it the first book? It's something with the sorcerer. Oh my gosh, my brain, my sleep deprived
I,
brain. Do you remember?
I've
Isis, do
I've
you know the
seen
first
it,
book?
but I haven't. Go ahead. I've seen
Okay.
it, but I haven't read it.
A Taste of Honey is solid. It's like a solid novella. Also, we had a really interesting conversation in our class about like dialogue and dialect, which was really sick. Yeah, I'm just gonna reference my entire syllabus because I don't really have time to read outside of my students'
That's
work and the
funny.
work that I'm teaching. Um, yeah, watching. I like we have a television screen behind us, but it's not on. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do. Um, what else? What else? What else? That was like the big thing that we were really into. Um, I'm kind of rereading. I guess this is speculative. Alexis Pauline Gumbs' M Archive. It's part of like a triptych. There's M
Um,
Archive. There's Dub. And then who's before that? Archive is first. And then help me out, people in the world. There's another one I'm missing.
Nothing's
Great
coming up
report.
in the chat.
But yeah,
I,
the
I'm not.
work in Archive is like essentially like this like being ancestor alien being who like humanity is like done. And they're carving through and like kind of sifting through the archives, and it's all written in like poetic verse, which is quite beautiful.
I haven't
Uh,
even heard about that. Oh my God. I was like, I didn't know that. I mean, like, I didn't know that Alexa Polygon wrote speculative. Like, I know there's emergent strategy and
mhm.
survival is a promise. So, oh my God, you're putting me on. So, if anybody is fast enough to drop that in the chat, that would be amazing. Okay, and I'm gonna bring in the chat. Y'all are so engaged in the chat today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So questions are, does Supercell have a second season? I know that they got the green light for the second season, but it's not out. I would be the first one to know. I watch a ridiculous amount of television. So Mango Tree Writers is probably going to finally watch They Clone Tyrone. Please do. I liked it.
I liked it too.
Um, okay. So, and I think maybe A Taste of Honey was on Miss Caitlin's 98. You jangled my memory. That was on my list too. I think that's what she was referring to. Fire magazine damn near makes you feel good about being rejected. It made me feel really good. And Boverette, it says, are you willing to share your current syllabus in public? Pretty please.
Hell yeah! As soon as it's done. I started off for Andrew at the cafe, but yeah, I love the idea. Even though I have a lot of feelings about being in an institution. I feel like education needs to be free, and I want to share as many resources that I can. So yeah, 1,000%. And like, I also love the idea of like a working syllabus. So like, I could start it, but I would love for other people to jump on top of it to kind of decenter that power. Um, baby sleeping now, but when I find snatches of time, I'll get to that. Thank you so much.
We completely understand. Yay, liberate the syllabus, but that's why you're on sessions like this. So we are
Mhm.
here for it. Okay. More questions for the both of y'all. I know I should have sent the questions in advance, like more in advance, not an hour in advance, but it's hard out here in these digital streets. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so I have an arc, so I don't have the introduction, right? So and this will probably be answered in the final copy in the introduction, but how did the Earth, as the Earth Dreams come to be, and how did your stories end up in the anthology?
And Therese probably has like a different answer to this question, but I believe that it came to be out of Therese noticing that there is like a gap in showcasing Black speculative fiction in Canada by authors based in Canada. And so I think that's one of the reasons that it came to be. And how my story came to be in the anthology. Therese was talking to me about the project, and she was looking for more people to join it. And so I was like, I'm more people. Um,
So you
and
see
yeah,
fruity. It's not like there was a massive mission for you. Were like handpicked. Teresa was like, "Yeah, did you have a story? Did you have to write a story?"
I wrote a story. I had moved back to Canada, and I was getting all this inspiration from remembering what it was like to live there. And I went to a panel where someone said, oh, something along the lines of how Toronto is a more interesting setting to write about than like other places. And someone made a comment about like, oh, not like Saskatchewan or something. And I took that personally because I lived there for a year.
Oh,
Um, and so I was like, it's a cool setting for a story. Let me write a story based there.
I love it. I love it. Um, I definitely, I'll admit that I have some regional elitism. So I'm glad your story proved me wrong because I'm like, why would you? So yes. Whitney, what are your thoughts?
I just want to piggyback on this regional elitism because my story completely takes place in Toronto, but it doesn't mean that that's the most interesting place. That's just where my heart was at. I live in Vancouver now. There's that I'm so excited to read your story. Like shout out, like I don't know what level of spec is, but I just found out the term prairie horror the other day, and I am
Oh,
there for it. Um, so yeah, all the stories from all the places. I don't know the answer to this. I feel like Teresa's just always doing things. Like shout out to you if you in the chat. You're incredible, amazing, a spitfire, a starburst, supernova of a human being. And so when I saw this, when she reached out, I'm like, oh yeah, I bet you. Like, why aren't you? I'm like, this seems like a perfect Teresa thing to be doing. I don't know how you get the time. But I guess we're making an anthology right now. Like, best Canadian speculative black fiction. Cool, cool. Let's do it.
And
So
I
for me, I
and,
just bat an eye. I'm like, this is right in your wheelhouse.
and to be
um,
honest, oh, go ahead, Whitney.
oh no, I was just gonna answer the second part, but go ahead, Isis. That's
Um,
how black people talk. We talk on top of each other.
no, you answer the second question. How did your story get to be a part of the anthology?
Yes, Russ just asked me, but I had another story beforehand, and it was part of a larger project, and I was being that annoying writer who's trying to squeeze what should have been a novel into a short fiction piece. I'm like, that's not gonna work. And so I had a lot of fun writing. I also wrote a story from scratch, which was so refreshing because we're working on some pretty long form projects and working like got tirelessly, and so it was really great to get like my feet wet and just like play. um and the story, I don't know if this is part of the question, but I just feel like I want to share a little bit like the inspiration of the story. So the story is very much about like twins and about quantum particles and about like market
You have to have
culture.
a question on that because if you
Oh
say
shoot,
now,
shoot, shoot,
then I,
sorry, sorry,
then
sorry,
I, then I, have
sorry,
to,
I'll hold on to that. Okay, sorry.
then I have to ask a
But
different question,
sorry. But
which
yes,
which is
it
also
was
okay.
fun
But
to write it. It was fun to write it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Sorry.
yeah, no, I'm not, and yeah, they were both fun stories to read. I'm just gonna bring them back to the chat. So going back to the syllabus, yes, it's so needed. It's so expensive in the U.S. I want to learn so much with the resources out there. Ain't that the truth? And then somebody else talked about what they were watching, APG trilogies, Spill, Archive, Dub.
Yes,
Oh, reading.
spilled. Thank you, whoever said that. Spill. Oh, Hortense Spiller. Oh my God, what a beautiful text. Thank you.
That is the pleasure. Okay, so we're getting to know each other, asking some follow-up questions. So now I have questions about each of you about your short story. Then we'll go back to joint questions if that's okay. So Whitney, this is for you. In the market, no, in the market. That's how. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. Two twin can find a portal that bends both space and time. So my question is, how did this story speak to your personal desire to reconnect to your ancestral lineage? And if you like, that's not where the story came from. You can tell me that. That's but for me, particularly being the child of West African immigrants, I was like, oh, if I could just open a portal and like see the family, right? So that's where the question came from.
Hmm. I feel like you're right on the money with that, Isis. Like I think first of all, thank you for reading our work and thank you for reading it so well. Um, yeah, my parents are Jamaican. I'm born here in Canada. I experience a lot of diasporic anxiety as somebody who um, the Canadian identity is like really weird and fraught. And when people see Black folks, they just like, but where are you really from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I go back to Jamaica pretty often. And so but there's always like difficulties with that. And so the portal felt like such a fun and playful means for my own personal desires. But the story was also about, yes, ancestral connections, but also straight up just about like my own cousins. I always think about um, the reason why I am here in Canada is my mom's the firstborn out of eight. and like straight up she just got the
Mm.
opportunity to come a foreign, right? Whereas in like if I was born to like my auntie who's the fifth of eight, or like another uncle who is like the third of eight, this situation would be different, right? And so um, it's always like an alternate reality when I think about the cousins who are there and then the cousins that are here. And so the portal kind of was an interesting space for me to explore those ideas and not to be too bogged down heavy about it, right? To mention class privileges, to mention like mobility, but to also like just have some cool kids just moving through portals and messing with things when they should be messing with.
Right, right. Yeah, like that last I was a little scared. I was a little scared for cousin. I was like, but anyway, you got to read the story to find out why I was scared. Um,
Mm.
Aline-Mwezi, am I saying that right? I know I'm not, so
Uh,
please correct me.
no worries. It's Aline-Mwezi.
Aline-Mwezi. Aline-Mwezi. And I think the last time we did something virtual, I made the same mistake and you gave me the same correction. So I apologize.
It's okay,
Um,
Francis. It's okay.
so in your story, Sophie Ange is the protagonist, um, but it's Kalisa and her determination for me that stole the show. Of the two, are you more bookish like Sophie Ange or more determined like Kalisa?
I think I'm a bit more bookish, like Sophie Ange. Um, it was really cool to explore like a friendship between two somewhat like very different people. I think in the story I mentioned, like Akeliza um, is very social. She's very much into sports, and then Sophie Ange is like, oh, I'm really more into books, and a bit more withdrawn. So I really liked the accidental friendship that they formed, and I really wanted to explore that last bit of warmth before Sophie Ange like moves away again. Um, yeah,
And it's so visual because I can see Sophie Ange sitting there, like reading Benty, because of course she'd be reading Benty. There's a new deluxe edition coming out before the Hulu show. That is my gift to you, that knowledge. Like reading Benty while Sophie Ange is like experimenting and like strangers are rooting her on, like keep at it and
yeah,
you'll get better. I was like,
yep, yep.
of course, why not? Uh, uh, what do you feel like is unique about a Canadian lens to Black speculative fiction?
Hmm.
I could start and maybe it's Elaine.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I want to make sure I got it right. Yeah. Maybe you can bounce off ideas too, because this is half baked. But I
yep,
think um, a Canadian lens to Black speculative, I think, is also like a Canadian lens to like Black literature. Period. Um,
yep,
and I think a lot of our incredible African American writers that such a deep and rich history, like right down from like Phyllis Wheatley up till now, right? And a lot of that history is um, uh, exciting, vibrant, sorrowful, and um, I don't like the idea of a shadow of slavery, but is painfully aware or in defiance of or in conversation with or rejection of that legacy and that lineage. However, Black Canadian literature and then by extension speculative literature, um, I think that there is a bit more of a, I don't want to say the word complexity because I don't want to say one's complex and one's not complex. I want to say that there's just so many different ways of how Blackness arrives in Canadian literature.
Yeah.
whether it's Black folks who've been here for like 6, 7, 8 generations, Black folks who are mixed with Indigenous folks, Afro-Indigenous peoples, Black folks who are Caribbean like myself, Black folks like from the continent, Black folks who, who just got here, Black folks who are migrant workers, refugees, and like all of those mixings. And those do exist in the United States, but not as stratified. And so the speculative lens offers a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different mythologies and culture blending and creolizations and all that kind of good stuff that to me I find really interesting and fascinating. And Canada's huge. Like the act we were
Yeah.
talking about, like the regionality of things. A story that takes place in the prairies is going to have a wildly different feel and texture and energy than somewhere in like an urban center like Toronto, right? Or
Yeah.
somewhere up north, right, where there aren't that many folks, period, much less
Yeah.
Black folks. And so I think it's like the cultural landscape. I think it's the physical landscape, and then also just the way that Blackness has kind of been pinpointed as like somewhat of a new thing in the nation state, which is completely not true. And you can't say that about America. You can't think of America without Blackness and black culture and Black identity.
Yeah.
And so that's my half baked thinkings. But please jump
Yeah.
on top of that.
Yeah. What's it called? Black spec fic through a Canadian lens. I completely agree with what you've said, Whitney. Um, oh no, I lost my thought.
It's coming. It's coming
Um,
right back. Don't worry. It's gonna boomerang.
it's coming right back. Um, it's yeah, it's that it's not it's not always known that um, Black Canadianness is also rooted in a history of slavery, and then you have all these other histories that join that as well. And I would say that it's unique in the sense that um, its canon and all its stories are not as prominent as those that we see in the U.S. And it's really good to bring them to the to the fore through a collection such as this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that nuance because as somebody who not, I think there's like a step team practicing outside my office door, which tells you a lot about where I work.
That's like the
Anyway,
blackest thing I've heard all day.
I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so yes. So because I experienced blackness primarily between the U.S. and Ghana, I was like, oh, I was going to say, oh, there is no difference. People are going to be like, why am I asking this question? So thank you for having like a very nuanced response to that. I feel like I have more context in reading the story. So thank you so much for that. Faith has a question for both of you. Can you talk about what pushed you to write about the connections, familial slash friendship in your pieces?
I can jump in. For me, my story is very much exploring the themes of like migration, moving away, and that loneliness that comes with that. And instead of like leaning into like the loneliness and alienation of being of several different worlds and not necessarily of the world that you've just been dropped in, I wanted to lean into connection despite that loneliness. And I chose friendship as a way to explore that. Um, yeah, instead of like leaning too much into like diaspora blues.
Oh, that's so interesting. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to read your story because I feel like very different approaches, but a kind of a similar diversion. Also, didn't want to lead into diaspora blues, but both of my characters are very much in the places that they're from, or like the places that they're born in, I should say. Maybe that's a bit more specific. But they yearn to be elsewhere, right? So like Cuz wants to go foreign and like check out like North American culture and like have cool headsets and dance, where cousin yearns to reunite, you know, with mother back in Jamaica. And so it's almost like a reversal of migration. It's not like they are situated in a new land. It's like they're longing for something that they sense or feel that they yearn for. And the familiar piece, or familial piece I should say, um yeah, how do I want to answer this? Yeah, I really love the idea of like cousinship and kinship and like double cousining. Like when cousins are born like around the same time period, or kind of like it for me on a speculative lens. Go back to sleep. On a speculative lens, back to what I was saying about like if I, you know, was born to like the fifth born instead of the firstborn, would I still be here? But then also like my cousin feels like a reflection of like so many different realities. So I think that felt like a really interesting place to begin with the familial.
And that makes so much sense to me. And I think like particularly like being an immigrant, there's like this oddness where you can, you know, typically look much more similar to like somebody who's literally like lives across the ocean from me than like the people who live down the street from me. So I think that until we were having that conversation, I didn't realize how much that
Mm,
resonated with me, like twinning with like a cousin, right, as opposed to a sibling. But
yeah.
um I appreciate that. I I love the title of the anthology as the Earth Dreams, because it could have just been Black Canadian speculative short stories. When I would have bought that book too. But
Thanks, Isis.
how did the title resonate with you? Where did it come from?
Um, I'm not quite sure where Terese got the title from. But I know that when I did hear the title, it did encourage me to write a sort of hazy, blurry, dreamy story. Um, so even if the setting I've said is it's in Saskatchewan, it's Saskatoon. It's basically like a hazy recollection of that city. Um, it's never it's never crystal clear. It's very like, oh, there was this place, but maybe it could have been this place. It's very it lacks specificity, and I did that deliberately to give it more of a dreamy quality. Um, um, Even if it's very much about, you know, like flying a magic carpet, which is not a dream, it actually happens. But yeah, that's how that title inspired me. And also summer, the story is set in summer, so it's a very dreamy season for me. And so I wanted to very much embody like the feel of As the Earth Dreams.
Yeah, I feel like that's a Terese question, like how the title came to be, because I don't know. I dig it. It inspired me, one, um, to stay. I kind of like what you said about the hazy piece.
Oh, Travis, like give us an answer.
Oh, nice, nice. We're not ready for the internet yet. No, no, no. We're not ready for it.
And feel free to bring it into conversation. I don't, yeah, because
Okay,
I saw
so
that. I was
Travis,
like, whoa, like the rest is
sorry, sorry,
watching
sorry,
throw.
sorry.
She's like, I got your answer.
Sorry.
So if you
So
think I'll
Therese
read
says,
it, that's great.
I was thinking about futurism mostly. What stories could we create and invent on this land? How deeply and freely could we dream? That is
Ooh,
so cool.
I like that. Yeah. I don't even know what I was going to say before, but I'll just leave it at that.
So sorry.
Oh wait, no, I remember. I remember what I wanted to share. Maybe not a direct answer about the title, but what you were saying about the hazy. I love the idea of being expansive and dreaming and not necessarily having a ceiling for what Black Canadian speculative literature could be. Thank you for that, Terese. But I was also thinking in the story that I wrote, Damn Market, is it's very nonlinear, sometimes purposefully disorienting. What is real, what is reality, what is time? Um, it gets like splintered and glitched. Glitch is like the word that I thought about a lot. And sometimes dreams are like a glitch, like when you like wake up and you're like actually still in a dream kind of vibe. So that definitely, that energy, and it was so fun, even just like on a sentence level, to kind of figure out how do I capture that feeling in writing. And I definitely failed a couple of earlier drafts, but Terese is such a fantastic editor and really helped me sharpen some of that. Those nuances, that like feeling. I'm like, okay, like how do we do this? And like, okay, if I make this shorter, if I make this part longer, how does that impact the reader? And so again, with that dreaming quality, um, and how language, like, when you read a book and then you're just like, you come out of, you're like, whoa. I was hoping for that kind of impact. And yeah, the title lends to that. So lovely.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, the section where we see cousins longing for her mother, and
Mm.
then there's a part where we're walking with the mother, and it's it wasn't the story that I expected, right? You
Mm.
know, and I think that uniqueness of insight and like different approaches to motherhood, I appreciated that. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for saying so.
Uh, um, what is what's my next question? Because I think this will be our last question before we move into this or that. So I will say dealer's choice. So the book comes out in about in exactly 2 weeks. It comes out in 2 weeks. This
Oh,
beautiful cover. Um, yeah. Um, and if you're like, how many Black Canadian speculative fiction writers are there? They're like, this is a small sampling, and they're a lot, and they're all amazing. Um, so, dealer's choice. What are questions that you hope you'll get about the anthology and or your short story as you have discussions with readers about the book, or you can read a short excerpt from your story.
mm.
Oh.
I want to read the excerpt, but I gotta find hands and laptop and things. So go ahead, take it away.
Uh, uh, it's it's not a question, but I'm hoping that people will randomly DM the word garuka to me because the short story
That is true. It's like
the short story's title is just say garuka. And it's framed as like a spell to help you return to the friends that you've left behind in your moves. And so I'm just hoping to get like out of context messages that say Garuka in all caps.
I love it. I love it so much. It's like a reverse safe word. I love that. I love it so much. So yeah. Okay. Okay. I hope I hope that happens for you. I saw B2 Weirdo join. If anybody's gonna make that happen, it's Bree from B2 Weirdo. So we're gonna make that happen. I love it. Hey, the Fright School, thanks for joining. In case you're wondering, we are discussing one, we're celebrating the start of Black Speculative Fiction Month 2025. Woohoo! We're also discussing As the Earth Dreams, which for some reason I keep wanting to say As the Earth Turns. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. As the Earth Dreams. And Whitney French is going to read an excerpt of their story, The Market. Maybe.
Trying to find yes, I will. On the spot, so I'm trying to find a little part that makes sense. Uh, okay, I know which part I want to say. If you catch Missy Vaughn in the market, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Crystal.
If you catch Miss Yvette in the market on a good mood, her default raspy baritone champions over all others down the stretch, leading to the coveted area, pumpkin 250, with interjections of, hello, miss, that me frock. And you too could witness her seamless sell plus compliment combo, then you know that you're having a good day and no bad-mindedness will follow you. But if you catch Miss Yvette in a not so good mood, her skilled finesse is no match for business is slow and fresh food spoil quick, and the wrinkle in her forehead creases as she calculates losses, and today there will be losses. Then is a different type of day. Before noon, when her flimsy hat is no defense against the vigilant tropic, and the cartman clips Miss Yvette's toes not once, but twice since morning, when invisible creatures knock off the coconut from the bottom of the pile and a hollow rhythm from the fruit avalanches echoes along the path leading down the stretch near the meat shop, then you'll hear, pumpkin $300. Today is not a good day. The duct tape that held the tarpaulin together for months, it decides today, to lose its stick after last night's moist air but no rain, and exposes the triangular cut tear right above Miss Yvette's stall, anointing her head with a beam of light, hot and merciless, kissing her forehead. Her hands are callous orators of their own accord. They cradle coin and fasten her hair curlers. They wipe baby bottoms. Her hands carry crates of carrots, crates of ginger, yam, dasheen, grip machete to slice jelly with wrist precision, but fumble when it comes to texting her son in England on WhatsApp. Those are the hands. They're awnings from the aggressive sun. The wind blows the tarp. Another twist and the sun catches her once again, sideways. An awful dance across her skin. They're playing with me today, she whispers.
Mm.
Wow. I can't wait to read your story, honestly.
Likewise. I'm so excited about this whole damn collection.
Right?
And that's the cool thing about anthologies. Like, shout out again to Tress. I know Tress, House of Nancy, all the people, all the hands that made an anthology happen. I wrote two anthology or edited two anthologies. It's hard work. It's not. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, and it also creates community. You know what I mean? Like being in the same book with somebody else, you get to know them. You get to learn their work. You get to be in conversations with people. It's a real joy and a privilege to be part of this collection. So thank you. Thanks everybody.
Aww. Faith quoted some stuff, so fresh food spoil quick. I love that. I loved as somebody who vends books like Miss Yvette on a good day, Miss Yvette on a bad day, because I definitely like us. I guess I've been both those personas. Um, Faith also says Miss Yvette is a WhatsApp warrior, and I love that, like what she's linked to and what she has skills about, and what she's like, I cannot be bothered. So yay. Okay, so we have about 7 minutes left, so I'll transition into the this or that, which is my second favorite part of the live. My first favorite part is everything we've been doing thus far. So, as you know, the this or that will be Black speculative fiction theme. It is every week, so that's not a surprise. And I just have to caveat, right? I will present two choices. And if you choose one choice and not the other choice is still out there in the universe. Like nobody dies, like everybody is safe, right? We don't have to call Bukro, right? So like let that flow through your system. Oh yeah, we got another recommendation. Who will bury you? That sounds familiar.
Oh goodness.
I love that recommendation. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Are we ready?
1 second.
Okay. Take your time.
Elevator music.
Huh?
Y'all are so gracious. No. He knew I put him down, and I was like, "Ooh, I got my hands back." And he's just like, "Mom, I'm not in your arms. Stop."
Oh.
So, back in my arms again. Back in my arms again. Do. Sorry, go ahead. This or that.
No, I'm here for it. Okay, speaking of, we'll start with music. So, Erykah Badu or Janelle Monáe? What's happening? Why there's no response?
Because I just glitched. I'm like, it's Janelle Monáe for me, but it's why would you do that to me? That's so painful. But it is Janelle Monáe for me.
Okay.
Same.
Oh, that's painful. Isis, you rude.
Which is why I had the caveat in the beginning. Whenever I do the caveat, people are like, why is this woman so like crazy
I
about
felt
this?
that one in my chest.
That means it was a good question.
It's a great.
I'll make the next one easy. Magic or technology?
Magic.
Technology.
Ah, fascinating, fascinating. And for those of y'all watching in cyberspace, you can drop your responses in the chat. Wow, the question was violent. I said that nobody disappears. Yeah, responsive today. I'm here for it. Nobody. Janelle, Erica Badu is fine. She's about to go on tour. She is okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Next question. I will tell you in advance, you will have big feels about this next question. Again, everybody is safe. Octavia Butler or Nala Hopkinson?
Oh
What?
no,
Okay,
don't
you
do
know,
this to us.
first of all, you know I work with one of them, and then the other person is an ancestor in the sky. So there's no way I'm answering this question. That is not fair. I
That,
plead the fifth. I live in
that,
Canada, but I'm pleading the fifth.
I'll uh, I'll have to pick Nalo, but I feel wrong.
I love it. I love it.
Isis,
I
you
love
rude.
it.
No, I don't love it. I'm sweating. This is stress sweat.
Just what?
This is
Wowzers.
stress
Oh,
sweat.
dang. People are like, I'm hanging up now. Ooh, okay. All righty. So, wow. I mean, I don't know why I love this so much. But this is like, these are the biggest responses I've ever gotten.
Mommy's
This is
got its feelings.
okay. So then last
Oh
question.
my god, thank God. Thank God it's all those questions.
Toronto, Montreal.
Montreal.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Easily.
Uh,
Wow.
I'm I'm torn. I'm torn. I'm a bit torn. Uh, eh, I haven't lived in Montreal. I guess Montreal as well, but like
Really?
they're both kind of like equal to me, if that makes sense.
Well, I've never even been in Toronto, but I'd be like, oh, Toronto all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
Mm-mm.
But
Nah.
Oh,
Montreal's where it's beautiful. It's multilingual. It's got better
yeah,
music, better food. The
yeah,
Haitians don't
it's
all love me, but like I'm trying to love them.
I love
Toronto
all of
is where
those.
they have like the carnival, right?
Yeah, Carabana is
Yeah,
thing. That's just one
yeah.
day, y'all.
It's just one
It's
thing.
Just
good.
one
LOL.
day, y'all.
I think Montreal is just it's just easier to live in
Okay.
terms of like cost of living in general,
Okay.
and
It's
like also
cheaper.
yeah,
Food
like
is
yeah,
delicious.
it's cheaper, food is nice. Um, oh, what would you say again? Yeah, culture
Also, the
way
history of
better.
Montreal, like jazz, Oscar Peterson, everyone's so cool. Everybody's so cool.
Yeah,
Everyone's so fly. And people know how
Yeah.
to dress. People are reading philosophy on like the STM, which is like their subway system. Like it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
Toronto.
yeah,
I'm born there. I get it, but like Montreal's where it's
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I have been educated. So
yeah,
now I know.
yeah.
I'm here for
at.
Also,
that.
yeah. Also, low key STM over TTC.
And, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. TTC is just like a U with a line through it. The STM
Yeah,
is just like a pound with some really nice buses and trains going through it and stuff.
yeah. TTC
But
is
I will
best.
say that Montreal, like their whole infrastructure is owned by the mafia. You heard it here first.
Okay. Wow, we get all the tea. So if you're planning a trip to Canada, when you're planning your trip to Canada, watch this live again and know where you should go and not go. Um,
No,
notice
Toronto's
that.
nice though. You showed up Toronto, but
I mean, I'm still going to visit Toronto at some point. But Terese says, "Stop this!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! So apparently, no more this or that. This live. Um,
no,
But
Baby's
but this
laughing
was
too. You think it's funny? You think it's funny?
but this was a lot of fun. Again, As the Earth Dreams, Black Canadian speculative stories, available wherever fine books are sold, including Sister Sci-Fi. Ours are signed via bookplate by Suni Davies. With that, enjoy Black speculative fiction month. Do something hella Black and hella speculative this month.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're not ready. You're not ready for the internet yet. Yeah. Happy Black Speculative Month, everyone. I'll
Yeah.
probably post that. Ouch, that syllabus somewhere on my Instagram.
Yes, please, and tag us.
Um,
I'm I mess with y'all Canadians. This was good. Yay! I'm glad. I'm glad you're excited about Canadians. I'm always friendly to Canadians in case I need
that's the
some
best
really
line.
quick.
I mess with y'all Canadians.
Yeah. I'm always friendly to every Canadian I meet in case I need a quick escape. So I'm always like, "Oh, you Canadian? Oh, you're amazing." So know that I'm always rooting for y'all.
Thank
Weekend words. I'm
you.
glad you dropped in too. All right. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night,
Good
Thank
y'all.
night.
you.
Thank you, Isis.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
again, Isis. You're incredible. You do all the things.
Yes. You're
Y'all
so
are
cool.
incredible. So thank you. Okay. We will talk soon.
Talk soon. Peace.
Bye.